Okay, we're talking about my mentoring that is going to close October 31st of this year, 2012. So, basically, most of the people that have taken my mentoring are people that have already taken my newsletters in the past and have been long-time customers. So that tells you right there that if you got people that's taken your newsletters and your information over the years, and then they decide to pay the $1,000 for the mentoring, that must mean that they like your work. And then the other thing is, I've never had anybody ask for a refund on the mentoring. So, and I've sold quite a few. I mean, I haven't sold thousands of them or anything, but I've sold quite a few packages to people, and every one of them has been happy that I know of. I mean, I get emails. I email the people that take the mentoring. They email me, and it's just I don't know anybody that hasn't been happy with it. And again, the reason I'm kind of being pushy with this is because I just know I got a feeling there's some people out there that they won't want to spend the $1,000 for the mentoring because I understand. I totally understand that it's not easy to do, but then they'll go out and trade and they'll take $2,000 worth of losses, and they'll just consider that, well, I'm still learning how to trade. Well, that's why I'm trying to talk you into it here, I guess. Is if you don't want it, that's fine. But if you're trading right now and you just feel kind of lost, like you need some help, this is the best information you can find. I can guarantee you that because I have seen about everything out there. Um, this is all proprietary information. This is stuff I've come up with. I mean, the indicators aren't. A lot of it's moving averages and things like that, but it's the way I use them and the way I combine them with other indicators that I've never seen anybody else use. Because again, I've bought about everything out there to learn how to trade. So this is information you're not going to get anywhere else, and it's profitable information. It should pay for itself. Again, I can't guarantee profits. I can't guarantee it'll pay for itself, but I really, honestly, in my heart, think it will. And again, really, it's kind of a cliche in trading, but one good trade, I mean, like silver, we bought SLV at the bottom, pretty much right around $25 a share. It's up to like 34 or something like that right now. I mean, if if you would have bought 100 shares, that's you've already almost paid for the mentoring, and that's just one trade. And then plus you got to look at it's not only the profitable trades, it's the this information will help keep you out of losing trades. So it's just a great deal for the right person, and that's who I'm talking to right now. If you're trading and you're doing great, then I keep doing what you're doing. But if you really don't understand what's going on and you really want to learn how to trade, this is really for you. Okay, and then that's why I'm offering it, because I know like I've said in the last video, I've been there before. I've been like just desperate trying to find out how do you do this. And man, when I started back in the 80s, there just wasn't that much good information out there. And to be honest with you, there isn't that much good information out there right now. There's a lot of information out there now compared to back in the 80s. And a lot of it's pretty good, but to actually give you where to trade and when to enter, and just to make it simple enough to understand. I mean, there's a lot of this information. It's pretty wishy-washy. It's pretty basic. You'll sign up for a $5,000 course and it'll be pretty basic. And I've seen $5,000 courses where I've come away and I still don't know where would you take the trade. That's not my information. You know where to take the trade, and you know exactly what to look for, and you know exactly what I am looking at to take my trades. And if you again look at my trading records for the premium newsletters this year, and I mean, just I think you'll see that this is something that you should be interested in if you're looking at a trade. EUR USD, we bought right on this bar in the premium newsletter. A lot of people, I saw video after video, people do daily commentary, and I saw people saying this was going to be major support or resistance up here, excuse me. This is going to be major resistance. This market was going to head lower from here. And the whole time I'm thinking, we just got a buy signal. This market is going to head higher. Now do I know for sure? Of course not. But I've just seen it work so many times, and I pretty much knew the EUR USD was going to head higher, and here we go. And this is just from one little technique I teach in my newsletter. And again, then there's That's a trend signal here, trend change signal, and then I have signals to enter all the way up if you want to do that. I don't do that too much, but I do offer that. Like once I like to buy more here and then put the stop down here and then let the trade work out. But there is nothing wrong with some people would like to buy here, and then if you get another entry signal in here, add to your position, another entry signal here, add to your position. There's certainly nothing wrong with that. The reason I don't do that too much in my newsletters is I think, that can get people into. When you're running a newsletter, it's a little different than your personal trading. Um, and I just think I try to keep it simple just to keep people so it's not so confusing and everything. Like, because when you do pyramid up, you are taking the chance, and then the market will come against you, and then, we could turn a good trade into a bad trade and all that. But mostly in my newsletters, what we do is we just get in at the what I have a trend system. We get in at the market turn, and then we put a stop down here, and then if the trade works out, it works out, and then we hold. That's one thing I'm really big on is holding when it moves your way. So you learn how to do that. um, Big winners, small losers. So let's take a look at just a few more markets here. And I really don't teach that many indicators. I do teach, a few indicators besides the basic ones I use, but normally you don't have to look at those every day. So that's another thing about this mentoring is it's not going to be real time consuming, especially if you don't look at a lot of markets. You're going to put about 3 indicators on the chart and you'll know if you want to get long or short. So it's really nice that way for people that are working. You can just come home and throw a couple indicators on the chart and you'll know. And here's the other thing about this mentoring is with the mentoring you get lifetime subscriptions to the newsletter, and you get lifetime mentoring lessons. So there's always going to be new updates, new information, new ways to look at things. And then the other thing is you'll be getting the trades anyway from me. So a lot of times you won't even need to go look at the charts if you don't want to. But then the nice thing about it is when you do see my trades, then you will know why I'm doing it because you'll know how I'm looking at the charts. So that's an added bonus because then you feel more comfortable on taking the trades. And then in the newsletter, here's another big benefit of mentoring is I can't put out every trade. I mean, obviously there's so many markets. So let's say if I don't put in coffee too much in my commodity newsletter because I think for most people that's just too big a risk. And I think most people are better off staying away from coffee again, but it depends on the individual. If you have a really big account and you just love to trade the coffee market, well, then if you get this mentoring information, then you know where the trades are, and you can even email me and ask me, "Am I looking at this right, Jim? Is this a buy-in coffee?" And I'll tell you, yeah, it's a buy-in coffee. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So that's part of the mentoring. You can email me with questions anytime. And then you can pick the markets that you want to trade if you know how the buy and sell signals are. Because even like orange juice, this isn't a market I would normally always cover. I mean, I'm going to put out some orange juice trades, but it's not like I cover it all the time. Lumber markets like that, there's some people out there that probably love to trade lumber, but I just kind of trade the markets that I think will be the easiest for most people. Like gold. Everybody pretty much likes gold. The grains, everybody pretty much like grains. And if we're in gold and the grains, and we trade a sugar trade and a cocoa trade and meats, I do lean hogs and live cattle. I mean, that's a pretty good variety of trades, and that pretty much covers most people. But I mean, let's say you just love to trade lumber. Well, this you learn how to do it on your own with this mentoring, and then you don't have to worry about is Jim going to put out a trade in lumber or not. Okay, orange juice. I put out a video showing how to buy above this bar. This is one technique we have, and it's not just because of the chart pattern bar, it's because of some indicators too. And then there's a technique where we could have bought up here again. That's like a trend change technique. Then there's a technique where we would have bought on this pullback. Again, you can kind of see the same pattern repeating all the time, but it doesn't. It repeats a lot, and I have ways to enter all the way along from here to here to here and then to here. And then actually even there's ways to get long after it rallies and then pulls back. So I have ways to get in that are clear cut and simple all the way along this trade. But the thing is the thing about commodities is so far the charts I've showed you have all done this move up and this pullback, and that is a very common pattern, and I do mention that in my mentoring that that's a very common pattern. Um, but it also there's a lot going to be times when this doesn't pull back, and you are going to want to buy here, and because it's just going to take off. So again, there's a there's a little something for everybody, however you want to decide to trade the market. Now, some people are going to want to just buy right in this area because they're not going to want to take a chance that they miss the move up if it just continues higher. There's going to be some people that's going to want to wait for the pullback every time. And then if they miss this buy signal because they want to miss this buy signal because they just don't like that trade as well. It's not a trade that they're as comfortable with as some people might be. Then if orange juice takes off and they miss it, they miss that trade. There's no problem. There's always going to be another trade. So some people are going to be comfortable trading it, trying to buy into the low. Some people are going to be comfortable trying to buy on a trend change, and they're going to be comfortable sitting out this pullback. Some people are going to want to wait for the pullback and buy. And again, I have entry techniques for all those. So I'm going to wrap this up. If you're interested in learning how to trade, um, this is the way to go. I'll show you stock traders. I'll show you how to find stocks. I'll show you how I find stocks. And I have some really interesting things in the stock market. Stocks are a little different. I'm one of those that believes that the market's a market's a market, a market, a chart's a chart's a chart. You know, if you can trade one, if you got something that works in one market, it will work in all markets, and pretty much that is true. But futures and stocks do trade a little different, and I have some things for stocks that are just a little different than futures. Futures are a little quicker trading. So, and we go over all this stuff in the mentoring, and if we haven't gone over it yet, we will. And then here's one more benefit to the mentoring, is once I get all this mentoring updated, which I'm kind of planning on getting it done by the end of the year, the bulk of it, there'll always be new information coming out, but I'm going to have the bulk of all the setups and systems we use. Then what I'm going to do next year is going to be more explaining the I'll be doing like when I put out a trade in orange juice, I'll show you, okay, now here's the setup we looked at in our mentoring, and that's why we're buying orange juice. And then I'll be showing you all the way along what we're doing. And next year I'm going to be doing more just putting out mentoring lessons on the trades as we go. So then that will really bring the information into focus and will really help you understand it if you don't understand it already, which you will because it's very simple. So a lot of good stuff on the way for the mentoring. I mean, I think you should buy it. Sorry for the sales pitch. Thanks, Jim.